So, hey guys, today we're going to be just complaining about Maliss a bit. It's probably not what you're expecting me to complain about, honestly, but yeah, the most annoying thing about Maliss is it randomly has some stupid grind game. So, if we go ahead and look at, we'll just go with MTP07 and Art Scripter. How do I deal with these cards? The only way I could possibly see you taking out these cards would be playing Kishtira, because there should be no other way. So let me explain. If we go ahead and have MTP07, we can recycle MTP07 very easily. So we're going to assume that the Maliss player here is going to go first and set up their board, right? So that entails summoning White Binder, Red Ransom, Art Scripter, maybe. You can sometimes fit in Hard Scripter. It depends, but we'll just assume for this specific situation, probably not. It doesn't really matter. Hard Scripter yet, but alright. Next turn, you activate like GWC. You place MTP07 with White Rabbit. White Rabbit will not be able to place DP07 or any of your other traps for that matter later, because this only allows you to set from the deck. So yeah, it could be completely a useless card after a certain point, and then you're just resetting with White Binder. Or are you? Because you can actually banish like MTP07 or GWC06 here with, for example, a March Hare or Maliss in the Mirror that's banished, just whatever. You could also banish with White Binder. And then you can Heart Scripter to shuffle back the card and then set it. And then if it's in the graveyard, you can also set it with White Binder as well. But okay, to this you might be thinking, okay, but just out the White Binder. Yeah, just out the White Binder. Why don't you? All right, March Hare banished the White Binder. Okay then, clearly that means we just have to banish the White Binder. So if the White Binder just remains banished, so what, you know, it does have an effect to special summon itself when it gets banished, but that's hard once per turn. We'll banish the White Binder twice, right? Okay, but now we can activate GWC06, which allows you to special summon a banished Maliss monster, like White Binder. So, okay. Now we'll out 06 here. Sure. So now there's surely no way for you to special summon the White Binder again, right? Wrong. We can go like Dormouse effect to banish March Hare. Or we can use Malice and the Underground effect to banish March Hare, and then that allows us to return White Binder. And then we can special summon White Binder again. But then you might be thinking, okay, but if you banish the trap, then you can't set it with White Binder or White Rabbit anymore. Hard Scripter effect to banish. This also has the effect to shuffle back a Malice card that is banished, including the traps or White Binder. So you could just special link summon the White Binder even, you know? We can put back the traps into the deck with the Hard Scripter. Okay, so now we have to out the Hard Scripter as well. But okay, if you out the Hard Scripter, then just keep in mind that March Hare will be able to put Hard Scripter or White Binder back as well. And they also, of course, have the effects to special summon themselves when banished. Ooh, yeah, that's just a little bit of something happening here. And you know, technically Chesky Cat can also banish March Hare in hand. Might as well throw that out there. And then you have like SP effect to banish March Hare in the graveyard, and also Lizard Hagridos. Potentially. So now you have a few more extra deck cards to worry about. And then Access Code technically can also banish these guys in the graveyard. Just while we're at it, you know, so if you were to non-destruction remove them, there's a good chance that you can just go like March Hare, banish this guy, Underground, banish this guy. We could even go Underground, banish Malice in the Mirror, then banish this guy, do a search on top of this as well. To do something like search or dormouse. Yeah. And you know, if you do still have some traps, you could set this and then banish March Hare to activate one of the relevant effects. To also then do some recycling as well. So, yeah. If we want to fully deal with like TP07 or Hard Scripter, the only way to prevent them from doing all this recycling nonsense would be to banish the card face down, or we have to lock it up in a place that they can't access it. Like, for example, if we were to attach Heart Scripter to like a Ryzeal, if they have no way to out that Ryzeal or forcibly detach the or detach the Heart Scripter, then yeah, there's just no hope for our opponent here. In the sense of being able to summon the Heart Scripter, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a Ryzeal. It's just any XYZ monster that can attach a card onto itself. So like the Pearly Xyzes, that would potentially work as well. They do have the effect to attach if you like send a card or something. Or was it tribute? What was the exact effect on this? I forget. Let's see, it was pretty memory, I believe. Send one other card you control to the graveyard. Oh. These aren't activatable under macro, huh? But yeah, whatever. We could target a Hard Scripter, I guess, and then attach it to like Noir. And then Noir is like pretty hard to out because it's not affected by your opponent's activated effects and all that. So yeah, that can become a one chunky fat ass cat. I should not say all those in the same sentence, but yeah, that's one fat cat. And not all decks have access to tools like that, so let's assume maybe we're playing Vanquish Soul or something like that. Okay, there's no good way to actually stop the recursion or anything here. But alright, let's compare this to Ryzeal. I out Ryzeal Cross. Now nothing can be recycled. And yeah, it can be that simple, you know, you just out Ryzeal Cross and you're just one and done. Because this sets from only deck, yep, and this only searches from deck as well. Yeah, there's no way to really recover Cross after it gets sent to the graveyard. And then that prevents everything else from being shuffled back, so you can no longer just activate Plasma Hole after you deal with Cross. So, why is this relevant exactly? Well, if Maliss didn't have this disgusting kind of like loop or synergy or whatever you want to call it, or grind, yeah, then macro would be pretty damn just playable, just in general, right? So, for example, if I were to just set 5 and pass, then we're going to contest with several things here, depending on the exact Maliss board, but we have like effect of the Sevworm that's sent by a Terahertz. We have Hard Scripter effect to banish, and then we have MTP07 effect to banish. Both of these being non-targeting. And that's just in archetype removal. For back row, assuming our opponent goes first, right? And then we have no way to deal with these cards, really. If we remove the Hard Scripter, it can easily be special summoned back via the banishing effect, any banishing effect, like Drew Swarm would do it as well. So I didn't even mention Bestials, but you know, even without Bestials, how many ways do we have to recover? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 different cards. If we throw in like 3 Bestials, that becomes 12. All of those are able to lead into follow-up plays that will allow you to bring back Hard Scripter, right? So we have like Dormouse, banish March Hare, Mouse and Unground, banish March Hare, and then March Hare, banish Hard Scripter, bring back Hard Scripter, right? Or we could even bring back White Binder, to banish some other guys to bring this back. And while we're on the topic of Whitebinder, we have the idea of like Whitebinder banishing March Hare in the graveyard on either turn 1 or turn 2 to add March Hare back as well, which would allow very consistent access back into like summoning Whitebinder for like the 3rd time, or is it the 4th time? I haven't been keeping track really. But then you also can banish Heart Scripter as well to special summon that potentially as well. And then this also triggers on special summon, so this could search you an extender with Underground as well. And then every single card here can be recycled, and there's no like easy singular choke point to hit to prevent the recycling. In fact, it's like the only way to stop this would be to essentially like floodgate your opponent out of being able to play at all. And I don't mean like literally floodgate necessarily, just using enough negates and interactions to prevent your opponent from taking any actions. That's what I mean, right? So that could be like 2 format Apolosas plus like DPE and battle protection. That should be able to do it, I guess. And then while we're at it, just throw in a spell trap negate to be safe. Sure. That could work, I guess. So yeah, the grind on Maliss is just dumb, and it's not something you can do anything about. Not like super generically anyways. Even if we were to drop like an evenly match, that's not necessarily going to work out for a variety of reasons. Namely, terahertz. I guess that's a pretty bad one. So yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Well, yeah. This essentially just stops backer decks from being super viable right now. So Crow, in my opinion, is decent against Ryzeal right now. It's not going to be the end all be all, but you know, all I have to do is just open some backer removal, and then I'm going to be solid, right? Because I can just use some backer removal on cross, and then we can just play out a long grind game in which I will just win versus Ryzeal. But if I were to go through the same kind of grindy, controlled trap strategy, it ain't going to work against Maliss. Because, you know, the absurd recursion that these cards all have. And that would be my biggest gripe with Maliss at the moment. And this would prevent me from playing something like specifically Paleo. That's about it, really. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.